Welcome to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, here with Cody of Network Outdoors. How you doing today, Cody?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Wes, for having me on the show again.
Well, of course. Happy to have you here. Excited to have you here. And we're going to have some tasty bites here in the third segment. But for everybody at home, make sure you subscribe and check out the YouTube channel at the Tasty Show 520. That's YouTube, Tasty Show 520. Now, we are live, so if you want to call in and chat with us, all you have to do is call us at 520-790-2040, and we'll chat with you soon. So what's new with Network Outdoors?
Well, with Network Outdoors, one of the big things coming out starting March is we're going to have events on the first Saturday of the month. Partnering along with Don Zavis, who's going to help me host those. And we're going to be running a shooting event, fishing event, or archery training events on those first Saturdays of the month now also. Down here, mostly up in Oro Valley for the most part, and then down to Silver Bell Lake. Outstanding.
That one's actually going to be a lot of fun. I've never thought about actually fishing at Silver Bell Lake. I don't know when the last time I was actually there, though. But looking forward to that fun event. Now, we do have another special guest in studio with us, and that's Ariel of Civil Wines. How are you doing today, Ariel?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on here today.
Thank you so much for coming in. We're really excited to talk to you about your experiences and your sommelier experiences, right? Because you're an actual, sommelier.
So I have many wine certifications under my belt. I actually never studied through the Court of Master Sommeliers, so technically I can't brag with that sommelier title. However, I am a certified wine specialist, and I received my WSET Level 3 Advanced Certificate about 11 years ago. So I've been working in wine almost 15 years.
That's awesome. Well, we wouldn't be here today without our amazing sponsors. So quick shout out to our sponsors. That's Vera Earl Premium Beef, vepremiumbeef.com. If you haven't had their meat snacks, you need to go on their website right now. That's vepremiumbeef.com and order some, because they're some of the best beef snacks out there. You can pronounce every single one of the ingredients because they're simple ingredients, and it just makes everything taste good. In fact, we could talk about pairing with the beef snacks, maybe.
Absolutely.
Well, I would honestly say if you're an amateur chef and you decide you want to go for People's Choice Award, go with Vera Earl. Yeah. That's the only reason I won, You
did, and we're going to talk about that as well. Now, our other sponsors are going to be Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance. We also have Dirty Cactus Soap, and one more very important one, Mafia Kitchen, with some of the best cannolis out there. In fact, I would say the best cannolis outside of Brooklyn. I mean, if you've ever had a cannoli in Brooklyn and you want a better cannoli than there, Mafia Kitchen. She only uses the best ricotta and everything else. But that's Mafia Kitchen. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook. She is a food truck, so she does move around a lot, as the commercial says, and we always have fun with those. So, well, thank you so much for everybody joining us. So, Civil Wines. Now, I was looking at some of your website and everything else, and you have some amazing Czech wines. In fact, you have the 100 best ones that you like.
Right.
And so, can you tell us a little bit about what Civil Wines is, how you started this, what brought you down that path?
Absolutely. So I started Civil Wines when I was living as an expat in Brno in the Czech Republic. And we had moved there for a position for my husband's company. And we got there, much like Arizona, we moved to the Czech Republic, and I realized that there was a lot of wine there, but there wasn't anyone speaking about it in English. And so I took it upon myself to fill that niche, to create Civil Wines. This was started as a blog. It became more social media video content as Instagram started to release Reels and all of those great video capabilities. So I really delved deep. I became a kind of semi-ambassador of the country's wine industry. Wow. I hosted international conferences on Czech wine. And in 2021, we decided to move to Tucson, Arizona. And so with my experience and expertise in wine and social media and content creation, I have followed through and rebranded Civil Wines as a source of credible information where people can become engaged and educate themselves on wine in general, with a slant now towards Arizona wine, because we're in Tucson.
Yes, and we actually met at one of the City of Gastronomy events where we were talking about Arizona wines and how amazing they were. And what an enlightening talk. Thank you very much for hosting that, because I didn't know that did you know that there's more than 140 wineries? And please feel free to correct me if I say anything wrong. 140 wineries in Arizona.
Who would have known that you could grow grapes in the middle of a desert?
Right.
Especially that many. I would have
Argentina
probably said like
knew,
10.
But yeah.
So historically, grape varieties were first cultivated in places like Arizona with the same kind of landscape, soil, elevation. And for me, it was really eye-opening moving here, because I myself also was a little bit skeptical. I come from a classically trained background in wine. And so thinking, how can they grow these grapes and make these blends and have them be so enjoyable and people can really savor them? And as I started to learn more, it was really like Pandora's box.
Right.
I understood so much more about the environment, the social impact of wine, the economic impact of wine. And like Wesley, you pointed out, there's over 140 wineries in Arizona. There's over 1 million bottles produced in Arizona. And the growth has been exponential since really the foundation of the industry, which really spearheaded in the 1970s. So it's been an exciting time to be in Arizona.
Yes, absolutely. And I've tried to try a lot of the wines in southern Arizona. I actually live about 40 minutes from Sonoita.
Great.
And so that's in my backyard, and I get to go out there. Sedona, on the other hand, I don't know a lot about their wines up there, but I don't know how many of the wineries that can produce wine like we can in southern Arizona.
Sure. So there's 3 American viticultural areas in Arizona. The first one being Sonoita. It was established in 1984. The next one was Wilcox. That's where most of the wine most of the grapes are grown. About 70% of the production was started in 2016. And the Verde Valley is the newest AVA. It was established in 2021. And that was really spearheaded by the Verde Valley Wine Association to advocate that their wines are different than southern Arizona, and they are indeed. Elevation plays a major role in all of these wine regions, and the wines have been beautiful. I actually brought one with me today.
You did? Tell us about it.
So this is from San Reckoner Winery. They have a tasting room right in Tucson. So
yes.
People don't have to travel outside of Tucson city limits to taste Arizona wine. I brought one of their most beautiful bottles I've tried in recent times. This is their Fiano 2020. This comes from the Chiricahua Mountains. These grapes are grown at 5,000 feet elevation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
On the Red Tree Ranch.
Up a bit from where we're at, because we're sitting about 2,500, give or take, around Tucson. So that's
right. It's
that's
pretty
good.
high.
So what does that altitude do? Because that's actually a very important fact, that the altitude difference does things to the grapes that you don't typically see.
Right, and I brought this up during that panel discussion where we met originally. Elevation plays a major role in Arizona's viticulture. Grapes can grow at elevation because there's high UV. In the same way that when you go skiing and you wear those ski goggles to protect your eyes, those grapes are affected by that intense UV sun exposure. So whereas the growing season in Arizona is quite shorter than in other classical wine regions like in Europe, they're able to get phenolic ripeness out of these grapes because of that elevation. In addition, I just want to mention this area used to be a sea. And so there are an abundance of varied soil types, including volcanic soil and sandstone and shale and mineral deposits, that really create a sense of terroir and a really unique identity to Arizona wine. And some of these wines I had tried in the past, I was surprised at the quality, the textural quality of these wines and the freshness of these wines. And so their Fiano wine I brought today, this was planted in 2018 by winemaker Rob Hamelman at the Red Tree Ranch. There's 1 acre of this wine, or 1 acre of these grapes being produced. Very small production wine. The grape is Fiano. And what I want to point out with Arizona is that these grape varieties may be something that you're unfamiliar with. They are not the typical Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Grigio. This grape variety comes from southern Italy. It comes from the region of Avellino in Campania. And this grape variety does wonders in the desert. So you can see the beautiful color of this wine is a striking gold color. Beautiful concentration of color on the wine.
I don't have any white paper to put up right behind it, but I think that we're getting good on the camera here.
But a lovely concentration of yellow fruits and mineral and almond tones to it on the nose. But what's remarkable about this wine is the acidity, the freshness. This wine goes through a whole cluster foot stomping. So these winemakers are stomping these grapes. It goes into a basket press. The wines are fermented in neutral oak with a native yeast fermentation. So this is really an artisanal product that we should be proud of here in Tucson.
Outstanding. No, thank you very much for bringing it in. And that is actually quite the it hits the nose nicely, and I think that this would probably go really well with barbecue, especially like a grilled chicken or
some grilled pork would be great with it.
Yes, and I think it would stand up to grilled pork. And as we spoke with Laramida, yes, this has some great legs. I don't know what that means, but if we were joking about that on the radio
wine has
a couple
legs?
weeks ago. Yeah, it does actually. Okay. So it's actually
so that's a reaction of alcohol with water. So this is a reaction that occurs because alcohol has a higher density. So as it swipes the end of the glass, you'll see the water evaporating and the alcohol clings to the glass. So this indicates that this is a slightly higher alcohol wine. This sits at 13.5% alcohol.
Wonderful.
Many lighter white wines have less alcohol.
Well, we have to go on a break, and we'll be back after the break with a couple more guests. And again, thank you to our sponsors: VEPremiumBeef.com, Kiki Rogers, A Country Financial, Insurance, Mafia Kitchen, Dirty Cactus Soap, Veterans Rescue Mission, and so many more. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, here with Pastor John McClain. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we got Network Outdoors in the studio.
Yeah, a good friend of both of us, for sure. Like, I want to think we should have an arm wrestling match to see who's a better friend of him. And you're going to win, unfortunately. But I still think I'm a better friend.
You really want to do an arm wrestling match with me? I hide my guns well, but in an arm wrestling match,
no, I think you got at least a couple pounds on me, for sure.
You got to get that shoulder and back muscle.
Well, that's the joy of the arm wrestling, though. With the arm wrestling, it's not about how much you weigh. It's literally just arm strength.
Do you think so?
100%.
Really?
There's actually the reigning champion right now with arm wrestling matches. I was just watching a YouTube channel video about this.
How much does he weigh?
He's like 180 pounds.
Really?
And he's going up against these 260, 200, or 300 pound, like just, big.
For me, it's always like guys that weigh 75 pounds more than me. That's the limit for me. But I can beat most people in arm wrestling. So I'll try it definitely at the end. You got me trying hot sauce. So let's try some arm wrestling.
Just wait. I brought all the hot sauces today, but that's for the third segment with Tasty Bites, which I'm really looking forward to because guess what? I made it today.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah. Because we had to pivot because our chef had a family emergency. So
that happens.
So I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to cook. And we'll see what happens with that. Well, hopefully everybody likes it. But well, I'm actually wearing my wife's favorite cologne. It's called Smoky Barbecue.
Okay, nice.
But anyway, so Cody, Network Outdoors, you've got some stuff coming up soon, don't you?
Yeah, well, we have quite a few things coming up in the next little bit. Obviously, we have our monthly events this month on Tuesday, third Tuesday night at our new home with the Marana Shooting Club out in Marana. Some pistol training we'll be working on over there.
Nice.
And then obviously up in Phoenix, we still shoot at the Rio Salado Sportsman's Club up there. And then we're opening up in March, the Oro Valley, a little bit more Oro Valley location for our some shooting, pistol rifle, some archery training, and then we got some fishing up there. But then we also have coming up in May, we just finalized some dates. We have a Women's Day coming up towards the end of May out at the Marana Shooting Club. So that will be very interesting to see how that comes out on that end. And then obviously we have our standard hunting trips. So can't wait for the elk hunt in August.
Yes.
Nice.
And then you're supporting the Good Brothers Foundation with the camp out.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the Good Brothers Foundation, a great organization mentoring young men, young boys. We did a wild game dinner. We've raised about $1,000 so far off of that for them. Looking for sponsors too for the camping trip up here in March 8th through the 10th. We're going to partnered with the Boy Scouts of America. We got potentially about 30 people going right now. And we're going to get these guys some life experiences they've never experienced before. Most of these kids have never been outside of Tucson.
Wow. Well, I wouldn't consider Mount Lemon really outside of Tucson, but I grew up here, and it's only an hour from my house. So I'm looking forward to that because I'll be up there, and we'll be cooking some great stuff over the fire.
Well,
Yeah,
I imagine a lot of kids have also never been camping.
That's
the main thing. You know, a lot of people nowadays don't really travel more than 30 minutes outside their house, and a lot of these kids have never camped. So they're going to get a completely different experience. We got some camping, some archery, some leather working. And we forced Wes into creating the menu for the camping trip, so we'll see how he does.
Because I had the audacity of asking, do you have a menu for your camping trip yet?
I'm sure you didn't have to twist his arm too hard, but yeah, a little twisty, a little twist, and it's kind of cool. It's cool having you on. I don't know if we've ever featured on Tucson Tasty show before, Cody, but
yes. He brought the bacon wrapped dove
okay,
part,
well,
coated in
it feels like it's growing
apricot glaze
before our eyes ever since. Because I mean, I feel like I was there back when we started talking about Network Outdoors, when it felt like Network Outdoors was just knee high to a grasshopper, and now you guys are everywhere doing some great events. We were blessed to have you be I think one of your first nonprofits.
Yeah, you guys were the first one,
and you guys helped us out substantially with that event. So I mean, congratulations, and work well done, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing to see how it's growing and kind of the events and everything else we have worked out, and partnerships we've built out, and we have some more stuff. Can't really disclose right now, but some other people have opened up some things. Needless to say, I'll probably be doing a lot of traveling here come May and June. So
that'll be exciting. Yeah,
cool,
I can't wait to talk to everybody about everything that's coming up when we can, of course. Now, when you can, anyways.
Yeah.
But so we still have Ariel here with us.
She's a wealth of knowledge.
She is.
In that first segment, like 99% of that went outside my head. I just realized I thought this was like a golden wine, but apparently it's a white wine.
Yeah,
so, that's
Yeah.
my extent.
Hey, you want a pen and
that I can
paper to
do.
write things down? It'll help.
I would, but
yeah.
my handwriting is atrocious.
Yeah,
By the
fair
time I
enough.
left this room
Yeah, you wouldn't be
after
able to
having
read
some
it.
wine, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be able to read it.
Yeah.
Oh
Sorry,
no.
I bet she has Cliff Notes that she can send out to everybody after the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just tag it because this is going out live on Facebook and YouTube. So tag it after.
I'll come clean. You can talk to the girlfriend, but as she knows, wine's the enemy to me. I can drink a half a bottle of whiskey and walk a straight line. 2 glasses of wine and I'll fall over. So
Interesting.
It's the sugars, actually. 100% it's the sugars. So wine is good. 1 glass with dinner is great. 2 glasses and you're
Just got to stay hydrated. Got to keep that
Exactly.
water flowing.
So speaking of that, Ariel, what would you recommend? My girlfriend loves reds. Malbecs are really good.
Mhm.
What would you recommend? Oh, did we go off topic here? A little
No,
bit?
you're good.
Enjoy. Go ahead.
To bring in because
So Malbec is actually grown here in Arizona.
Yep.
You can pick up a Malbec from Deep Sky. It's grown in Wilcox, and it offers this beautiful black fruited, very round, full-bodied style. That's my assumption of what your partner is drinking. There are so many varieties in southern Arizona that mimic that flavor profile and that
Right.
textural sensation. So there are over 50 varieties in Arizona, so I'm sure that your partner would find something enjoyable.
Grenache is one of my favorites. I love the Grenache, especially with what they're doing out in Wilcox. But yeah.
Now, would you recommend that with my award-winning brisket? I guess I have to keep throwing this out just to throw it in Wes's face
People's
that I
choice.
won.
Very
People's
Oh,
choice award, yeah.
absolutely.
No, that meat was provided by Vera Oil Premium Beef, and I think that
They
the
accounted
cut
for
of
90% of the reason why I won. I'll tell you that much.
We had some amazing beef out there. Actually, we had Forbes Butchery. Butcher or Butchery. I don't know. Anyways,
Whichever you say, I'm
Forbes.
Go with.
Ben Forbes is one of the best butchers in Tucson. He's located at the Flores Market Run. And I'm checking with our producer Tina over there. Thank you. And what an amazing man, but he's just always so busy. We've actually invited him on the show a few times, but he has to cancel because he has so much going on. But Vera Earl, we had some Wagyu from him, and then we had another one that was just from Restaurant Depot. And they all performed really well, but you could definitely tell the quality differences and everything else. But yeah. What was your favorite, John?
My favorite of the briskets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to say Cody. I think I voted for Cody's. Yeah, there was no bias to that. We got a caller.
We do have a caller. We have a question from Alan for Cody.
Well, hello, Alan. What is your question?
Hi, Cody. How are you?
Good.
Well, I want to know more about the archery event you were talking about.
Well, right now we are. That will be in about 2 months from now, up in Oro Valley, and we are working on finalizing the details. But we have on the first Saturday of the month, starting around 9 a.m. with Network Outdoors. We do a little networking and bringing people who like the outdoors together, and we're going to do some work up in Naranja with a trainer, so people who don't know some archery, we can get some training on that part, and people can come out, enjoy some good breakfast food, and meet other people who like archery or the outdoors themselves, and then get some training, or yourself go out there, bring out your gear, and help train some new people.
Thank you, Alan, for that question. That's actually a really great question. Thank you for calling in. Do you have any other questions or inputs?
Not right now, no. I was just curious about that.
Have you ever had the Sand Reckoner wine that Ariel was talking about?
No, I have not, okay? But it's from what you guys are talking, it sounds very good. And I liked all the info about all the wines here in Arizona.
Yeah, it's time to go down and do some tastings down in southern Arizona.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for joining us.
And Alan, if you want to send me an email at cody@networkoutdoors.com, I'll make sure you get on that list, and we can get you over the info for the archery event.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Alan.
All right, thank you. And Ariel, how do people get a hold of you? And I apologize for not asking sooner.
Oh, no worries. So my Instagram handle is Civil Wines, as in civilian, wines, plural. You can reach out to me at civilwines@gmail.com or through Instagram or my website, civilwines.com.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for joining us here today, Cody. We'll bring you back in with the last segment. The next segment, we're actually going to have a new sponsor, and his name is Jose
Oliver.
Oliver.
With Awakening Minds, LLC.com.
So stay tuned for that. And then, of course, without our sponsors, Bureau Premium Beef, Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Mafia Kitchen, and Dirty Cactus Soap, none of this would be possible. So shout out and thank you to everybody. Again, if you want to call in and chat with us, if you have a question, 520-790-2040. That's 520-790-2040. We'll be able to ask everybody any questions you want. And we'll be right back after this break. And welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, here with Pastor John McClain of Veteran Rescue Mission.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing?
I am great, brother.
And we have Ariel of Civil Wines and so much more.
Yes.
How you doing?
The world of Arizona wine.
Yes.
Encapsulated.
And fanciness. You just like exude fanciness. So I like that.
I think that's the years of living in South France that really just come through.
You could tell. You could tell, yeah, for sure.
I'm just kidding. No, maybe the Czech Republic.
I lived in both places, actually.
Or
so you're not far off.
Yeah, no, I was reading your bio. I'll admit it. But how can people find you online?
Through civilwines.com, through my website.
Okay.
And Instagram is where I'm most active. At Civil Wines, and the name's Civil, like civilian wines.
CILI.
CIVIL.
Oh, okay.
Wines.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
perfect. I did that on purpose.
You were the Air Force. They taught you guys how to spell. You're not fooling me.
We actually see better results when we do something wrong than
I
we do
see.
it right.
I
You'll
see.
never
Yeah,
forget it.
Yeah, they taught us that in regard when they taught us interrogation, that if you say something wrong, someone will give you the information you want in correcting you. So yeah,
Exactly. So we have our newest sponsor in the studio, and that's Jose Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right? I messed that up.
Did you? He said it right.
No,
Oh.
he said it right.
Oh wow! Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Jose Oliver, and tell us a little bit about what you do before we get into Tasty Bites, because I got some really amazing. I don't know if you can smell that.
I can
yet.
smell.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Awakening Minds. What we do is leadership training.
Mhm.
We focus ourselves with people that think alike us. What we do is we believe that everyone deserves a good leader, and everybody can be a great one.
Mhm.
So organizations that believe what we believe is the organizations we work closely with.
Mm.
We provide tools and we provide the methods and the systems that they can implement to make this a case of success.
Mm.
That's what we do in a nutshell.
That's
Nice.
beautiful.
And how can people get a hold of you?
There we go.
awakeningmindsllc.com is the easiest way. It's a tree, as it call it in the marketing. So you can see, you can contact me through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It goes by X now, Twitter, I
Nice.
guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And then
Twitter
you have an upcoming event, right?
And I have an upcoming event, you're
Yeah.
right, on the 29th. So we have one extra day this year. What better than investing on leadership training, growing ourselves, growing a mindset as well, and getting more educated on that.
Outstanding.
Nice. And that's February 29th at the Arizona Sands Club at 8 a.m.
That is correct.
And go to awakeningmindsllc.com to register.
That is correct. And best of all, we have a common good. The coupon that we have is $30 off for that investment that you can put on yourself.
Nice.
And that is a full day event. So that includes lunch as well.
Awesome.
The Sands Club, for people who may not know, it was my case in the past, is at the U of A Stadium.
The north
So-
end of the Arizona Stadium and the U of A on the U of A campus, and what an amazing place that is, right? And they host us every Wednesday from 9 to 11 for one of the best networking groups in town.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been, you need to come. Everybody in Tucson's invited.
Absolutely.
And
Come on me. Be my guest.
There we go.
Yep.
Or our guest, right?
Yeah, be our
there we
guest.
go.
Or be my guest one time, his guest the next time. We just go back and
There we
forth
go.
every Wednesday.
And your event's on the 29th
That is correct.
in the morning, though.
Yeah, all day long.
All
8
day
o'clock.
long?
Yeah, from 8 o'clock to 4
Beautiful.
o'clock.
So if you hang out after that, we actually have a chili cook-off that we're doing. Now, I'm actually on a team cooking the chili cook-off, or cooking in the chili cook-off. Now, I don't know if that's... with Cody of Network Outdoors and I are actually going to be doing the chili, but
Nice.
we're slanted. I think we're slanted on that, right? Now we have another guest calling in.
You're
so
popular.
Dustin,
This is a popular show.
Dustin
I
has a
like
comment. How you doing, Dustin?
Good, Wesley. How are you?
Outstanding. Thank you so much for calling in. You have a question for one of our guests today?
No, actually, I just had a comment. I just wanted to find out what's on the docket for the Super Bowl food for your family.
That's a great question, and I actually have some of that here. And if you're on YouTube at the Tasty Show 520, you can see this amazing food. Now, this is actually really cool. Thank you very much for the question, by the way, Dustin. And this is actually a really cool meal because it's actually a really cheap meal. So I actually get these chicken wings from Restaurant Depot, and they're miscuts.
Okay.
So I got 40 pounds of chicken for $32, and you can't find that anywhere else.
Wow.
That's like 80 cents per pound, according to my fast math.
Yes, is exactly right. And so I smoke them for about 2 hours usually, and then I throw them on the grill to render that fat, so you get that crispy skin. And then naturally, because I was traveling here, I covered them, and now they're not crispy. But this is Tasty Bites, brought to you by the Tucson Tasty Show. It's my favorite part of the show. And John, what hot sauce level would you like?
Baby level, please.
What do you think of that Super Bowl meal, Dustin?
That's That sounds pretty dang amazing. I wish I was there to be able to try it.
Absolutely. And we have some beautiful hot sauce like the Last Dab Experience, which is Pepper X. And I wish you were here to try this because I just want to see your reaction.
Dustin, if you reach out to us, if you message us at commongoodmediagroup.com, you're more than happy to join the studio audience and try one of the Tasty Bites one of these times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. Next time I will certainly do that. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
calling
joining
in,
us.
brother.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, John. So I've got some chicken legs for you here. Tasty Bites with brought to you by Wesley today.
Nice.
And I also have some tropical hot sauce for you. Now, this is a really mild one.
Okay.
My 11-year-old tries to just drink this with a straw.
Nice. So I should be able to at least take a dab of it for sure. What do we got?
And
Your child
let's
is a
pass this
sommelier
out.
in training.
All of my kids are surprisingly
Very savvy.
they like to explore food, that's for sure. Now, which one of these beautiful hot sauces would you like to try, Ariel?
Oh, I have got this maple coffee hot sauce
Yeah,
in
this
front
one's
of me.
I'm looking forward to this one.
From Vermont.
From Vermont, yes. And I would like to know what a good pairing on that would be. What a unique flavor, I'm sure.
Let me give it a roll. Thank you.
Now, John just dug right in. What did you think of that hot sauce, first of all?
It was good. It was interesting. I like a little bit of sweetness to it, but not too much, and definitely a lot of zest. So, but not too much zest because I'm a little baby. So yeah, it was good.
What'd you think of that the coffee hot sauce?
It's nice. The maple and coffee have a nice combination together. Hot sauce is historically very difficult to pair with wine because it kind of blows the palate.
Right.
But I would do a slightly sweet Lambrusco with this wine or with this hot sauce. Lambrusco is a sparkling wine from Italy, and I think that would be really kind of the good counterpoint to
Yes, it would cut
to a
through
hot
with
sauce.
that acid, right?
Yeah.
Yum. Now, here's another one for you. Now, this is black garlic and peri sauce. I'm not going to subject you to this one, John,
Thank you.
because this is definitely a hotter sauce.
So he gives it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Yeah.
enjoy the,
he realizes
the
you're
coffee
more a
one.
man than I'll ever be. I'll take it. I'm fine. Well, I'm in the Army. We're self-deprecating. We can deal with it.
Passing some over to Cody, who's still in studio with us. Thank you for hanging out.
Being
I think
handsome over
everybody
there. We see you,
stays
Cody,
with
being
us for
handsome.
the chicken. Now, again, this is smoked for about 2 hours, and I don't know if that smoky flavor comes through. And then you put that hot sauce on there to kind of pair and get it going.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm.
These are good.
Great
You're-
wings. Thank you.
Yeah, he's a
Of
good
course.
cook. He's a good cook. He doesn't like to give himself any type of special title, but yeah, he knows himself around a stove and a grill and all those other smoking contraptions.
You can tell. The black garlic and peri sauce actually would go great with a variety that grows often here, Malvasia bianca. It's a European grape variety, very aromatic, tropical fruits, high acid. I would love a glass of Malvasia with this black garlic and peri hot sauce. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Outstanding.
Bougie people must love you when you talk.
But that's why I took the moniker Civil Wines. I wanted wine in civilian clothing, wine for everyday people, wine for everyone to be able to access education and information. I think it's something that's so missing in many communities.
Yeah.
And so I hope to bridge that gap between consumer and wine producer.
Well, I like to think I am the everyday person. I'm working to be bougie. So like as I hear you talk, I'm like, okay, I should have her train me on wine. So yeah.
But I can
thank
get
you.
down and drink a
you're
beer,
the
too.
bridge. You're the bridge between them, for sure.
Outstanding. Well, we're going to head out to another break, and this is going to be our last break. When we get back, we're going to have Tony from Black Rock Brewers, the only brewery on the east side of Tucson, and I think we're going to pit the wine expert against the beer brewer and see what happens. No, it should be a fun time. But thank
They
you
should
to
arm wrestle.
There we go. Thank you, Jose Oliver, for joining us again. With that mouthful, how do people get a hold of you?
Yes, I am joining the chicken. It's so good. It's so good.
Good.
I know the sauces come along, but the chicken on its own is good. Awakening Minds, LLC.com.
Perfect.
You can
And
get all the information there.
thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time you come on the show with us. I'm your host, Wesley Source, Stay Tasty Tucson, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, here with Cody Peck of Network Outdoors. How you doing?
I am doing great. Thanks for the wings.
Of course.
And that one hot sauce you told me to try today definitely does have a little kick to it.
Yeah, I can see. That's okay. I've got lots more for us to try during the Super Bowl. Okay, and I also have another like 20 pounds in the catering bag. So happy
good.
to share with everybody. And it was because our chef he had a family emergency, so I had to have an emergency and make food and bring it in for the Tucson Tasty Show, because the Tucson Tasty Show without tasty bites,
Impossible.
it just doesn't make
Nothing
sense.
better than that.
So, thank you, Ariel, for hanging out with us from Civil Wines. Now, Civil Wines is, again, wine expert. You have this really cool page with a focus on the Czech wines, which
Yeah.
is really cool. And then you've actually come to Arizona because of the wines.
It was. I didn't come here because of wine. I moved here. My brother lives here, and the weather was the opposite of the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
It's sunny and warm every day, and the Czech Republic is cold and dark. And so I thought, let's move to Tucson.
All right.
And it's been amazing.
Well,
What a
welcome.
community. Yeah.
Welcome from a Tucson original. All right. How's
Oh,
that? There you
wow.
go. Born and raised in Tucson.
There you go.
I was born and raised in Tucson when Sonoita got their wine.
Their AVA status.
Yes, in
Great.
'84. There you go. Now everybody knows how old I am. But how can people get a hold of you?
So people can reach me through Instagram at Civil Wines. I'm also the wine director for Tap and Bottle North and Westbound. So you can come in and shop with me, or you can head to my website, civilwines.com, CIVILWINES.com.
Well, wonderful. And speaking of Tap and Bottle, I actually have a brewer here for you. This is Tony from Black Rock Brewers, the only brewery on the east side of Tucson.
Tucson's only East Side brewery, yes, sir.
And I've actually known Tony for quite a while, and what an amazing supporter of the Tucson and the greater area. This beer, brew that you brought in for us, is a pale ale. And
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the brewery, and then tell us about
Okay,
the
yeah,
brew
fair
that you
enough.
brought in for us.
So, yeah, Tucson's only East Side brewery. We're actually coming up on our 7th anniversary, which is going to be March 30th.
Mhm.
We'll be doing all day from noon to 10 p.m. We started, a couple of home brewers fired up the brewery, me and a buddy of mine, and he has since moved on, but, helps out with the brewery still, which is cool. But, yeah, we've got 13 beers on tap, large tap room out there. We've got, I think, 84 seating capacity. So we've got plenty of space for parties, company parties, things like that. We had a band last night. We bring in some live music, team trivia, things like that.
Awesome.
And
You
13
guys
beers on tap.
actually were still open during that snowstorm blizzard that Southern Arizona got
Yeah,
yesterday?
yeah, we had to dig out, but we were okay. Yeah, I think we had to tip the chairs back up. So
I think we got a couple inches out in Vail, and everything's shut down.
Yeah.
We took the kids out to go build some snowmen and stuff, and you can
That's
check out
awesome.
that video at the Tucson Tasty Show Facebook page or YouTube, where
Excellent.
we're live right now. And that's the YouTube channel is the Tasty Show 520, and so yeah.
very cool.
So
Well, and you asked about the A10 Pale Ale. So
810 Pale Ale.
kind of a long story. I'll try to make it brief. I've always wanted to make an A10 beer,
Yeah.
some kind of A10 beer. So I started looking at the airplane, and top speed is apparently 490 miles an hour. So that's a perfect 4.9%. IBUs, which, for those who don't know, is a bittering unit. So 30 IBUs for the 30 millimeter cannon that they have. And then we used Horizon and cluster hops, which worked out perfect for that. The story goes, I put the beer on tap, first run, a pilot shows up. Because we get guys into the base quite a bit.
In
tried-
Charity side, right?
Yeah, he tried the beer, and he says, you know what, we got to get this on tap out of our squad room. Fast forward a year or two later, they've brewed with us a few times. I've been out there for barbecues and whatnot. I was actually just out there Friday for a roll call, and I was assigned a call sign. I'm now the official brewer of the 47th Squadron at Davis Mountain Air Force Base.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
great.
it's pretty
So
cool.
your call sign is
pitch with a P.
Pitch. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like pitching yeast, right?
so original.
Hopefully not pitching a fit. Yeah, exactly.
Being an Air Force veteran, I've been through a few of those.
Yeah, right. It was a heck of a day. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. If you got to be, or you should have been there, is I think the response that we give everybody else.
Yeah, you had to be there. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Now, he was at your car show and cook-off, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Yeah.
What beers did you have there? Because I tried those, and those were pretty good.
I'm pretty sure we had our Batch 42 Amber Lager, and might have been the Pale Ale, the A10 Pale Ale. I don't remember exactly the second beer, but we do have 13 beers on tap out there, so we've got a little bit of everything. We've got IPAs, hazies, Scottish Ale. It's a true Scottish.
Which is absolutely delicious.
Thank you. We've got a strong Scottish on right now, which is 10.3%. So great sipping beer for the wintertime. A blackberry sour, which is a great seller for us. This time of year, we've got a vanilla porter and a peanut butter stout.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have just a light stout, kind of something we played with, did a lager as a stout versus the normal ale. So, yeah, we've got plenty of beers on tap out there, so lots to choose from.
Yeah, do you guys do a brown ale by chance?
We don't have a brown ale right now. We do try to rotate some taps. So we have had a brown ale before. So it could, you never know. It could always make an appearance. So
Wonderful. Well, if you want, maybe you could pop that open and we can kind of pour it into the wine glasses. I know that's terrible, but by the way, that wine, I just had the first sip because I tend to try to avoid it until the end of the show to make sure I don't say something wonky, but that wine was solid. That was spot on. That's perfect barbecuing wine. I would say it's hands down just delicious.
I love how creamy and textural it is with that beautiful yellow fruit. But let's try some beer.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I do drink beer.
It's time for beer. Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
So this one is the description on this, and I usually don't tell people what the beer tastes like until they've tried it. But in general, it's got a citrus note in the aroma with some complex rye sweetness. But then it's also very light beer, very easy drinking with just enough bitterness on the back of it to kind of clear your palate.
It has almost like an acacia floral kind of note to it.
Yeah, that's from the hops and the probably the rye in there. Rye malt. A lot of people think rye is going to add like a rye bread flavor to beer, and that's actually incorrect. That's the caraway seed. Rye just adds a sweetness, and it's distinct sweetness. And if you use a lot of it, then you can get something. But this one we just have just enough in there to kind of balance it out. And
I do like that. I don't like pale ales typically. I don't like IPAs. I typically go for those dark brown ales. The Scotch ale is, like I said, one of my favorites. But that's good. That's solid.
It's very easy
really
drinking. Yeah, so a lot of pale ales are kind of off-putting because they're very bitter.
Right.
And this one is supposed to be easy drinking. So.
What do you think of that
This
one?
is my kind of beer. I tend to stay away from things that are too hoppy. Double hopped IPAs and dry hopped IPAs, they just get very perfumey and too soapy for me. This is something I could just pop open at home and relax and watch the Chiefs win tonight.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I'm going for the Cubs, so I don't know what everybody else is
Yeah,
talking about.
there you go. I'm just here for Usher, so
Yeah.
that's really
I actually don't have a dog
tell
in the
the
hunt,
truth.
but a couple of college guys off my college team are on the 49ers.
Oh,
so
very cool.
Got to watch them.
So I brought in wings today. So these wings are smoked for at least 2 hours, and then I grill them. So a really hot, really hot grill. I mean, I turn on my grill and let it get up to temp for about 25 minutes. So when I'm popping that open, it's like 700 degrees, and that's why I don't have any hair on my knuckles. And then so I throw them on there, and it actually takes about 15 minutes for them to cook the rest of the way and really get that fat to render.
Yeah, these look
get
phenomenal.
crispy. Now you got to try it with the hot sauce, and I don't want to blow your taste buds out. I'm sure you have some fun later.
Speaking of smoking, I put a big roast on the smoker this morning, and I was kind of struggling to get it done before I had to run out here. So
Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, just having said that, but I'm looking forward to trying this out for sure.
So you got a roast on the smoker?
Yeah, it's already done.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I got it pulled off at about 2:00.
Yummy. So, which hot sauce would you like to try? Because I got this really hot one, which is literally the world's hottest Pepper X. It just came out. It's 3 times hotter than Carolina Reaper, and it's one of my favorite ones. In fact, talking about it, my mouth is watering because it's one of the tastiest hot sauces that I've ever had.
It is good.
Let's give it a try.
All right, who's going for it?
Wesley, you're daring. I like it.
Yes, and I'll have to drop by with some stickers for you. But oh no, I have to go by the brewery.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. Just a little bit because you don't need a lot.
Just a touch of hot sauce.
Yep. Oh, let's get that. There we go. And he's going for just a dab. It's a little thick at first, but then it does come out.
It's taking its time. There it goes.
Perfect.
All right, let's see here. Here we go.
He's much more daring than I am. I'm staying away from the Pepper X.
You do have some beer right here as well, just to quench
That's right.
that. But it's that flavor, right? I mean, it's just perfect. Now, these wings are actually seasoned with Arizona.
I can't talk right now.
Lime and
I'm kidding.
It's an Arizona rub.
Good.
Arizona rub seasoning, and that one you can find out at Flying Leap. And then I put a little extra chili on there, just to give it that little bit extra
That
kick.
is
And
awesome.
then,
It hangs around. It's got that almost getting like a habanero flavor almost or something. And
and then it builds.
yeah, it does build.
So how
It
do people get a hold of you?
Check us on Facebook at Black Rock Brewers, and that is plural. Come out and see us off of 22nd and Pantano on Research Loop.
Beautiful.
And you can, we're on Twitter, of course, and Instagram at BlackRock_Brewers.
Thank you so much, and thank you for everybody at home for joining us today on the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host. Don't forget to stay tasty, Tucson. Thank you to our amazing sponsors. See you next time.